All right, now it's time for a little culture here on Amber Live by bringing in. Okay, I got to get this straight up. He's a composer, arranger, orchestrator of Feinschmecker, Sybarite, Turophile, Explorer, Onophile enthusiast. All right, I don't know what half of those words are, but that's how Ed Windels describes himself. So, Ed, come on in. Hi, Ed.
Thanks for having me, Amber. This is a treat.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I just on your website, it says that you're a composer. I got that. Arranger. All right. Orchestrator. Yeah, that's cool. But what's a Feinschmecker?
That's the Yiddish word for someone who really likes food.
Okay. All right. And what's that other one? Sybarite?
That just means I enjoy. That's a good question. I'd have to look that one up. It's been a while since I've used that one, but
maybe you're no longer one.
Person who is self-indulgent in their fondness for sensuous luxury. You know what? I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. How about a turophile?
Cheese lover.
Oh, okay. Oh, I go with that. Explorer. And I know I should know an onophile.
Wine lover.
Oh, that's it. That's it. It was either that or stamps. I get those confused. So you're just a sort of bon vivant man of all trades there. So
no, I just eat and drink a lot.
Cheese. Watch out for that cheese. It'll bind you up. All right. So before we talk about the project you did last summer, what have you been doing all your life? What are some highlights?
Oh, well, my big claim to fame, I suppose, is I've been working as a composer, orchestrator, and arranger ever since I got out of school in 1990. But it's what you might call my side gig. I have a full-time day job. For the last, it's now coming on 3 years, I've been running my own virtual assistant and administration business. So, and my shtick to clients is pretty much if it's legal and it doesn't require me to disrobe, I can do it for you.
Okay. Well, if anyone asks for those other two things, send them my way.
Absolutely. Okay. And on Church Street. Okay. And so the music thing is not my full financial thing, but it is my passion. It's my vocation. It's my education, and it pays now and then.
Oh, great! So tell us about this project that you did in Detroit last summer. How did that get started, and what happened?
This was an extraordinary experience. There is this young man named Yuval Sharon, who has been an opera director in Los Angeles for some time now. He started his own company out there called, oh, come on, Edward. Geez, I'm not up to the mark tonight, am I? I can't find it. Gosh, that's embarrassing.
That's all right.
Come to me. Right. Which got a huge amount of critical acclaim. Earlier last year, probably around this time, Michigan Opera Theater in Detroit was having talks with him about joining them as full-time artistic director, which is what he wound up doing. And then the pandemic hit. And suddenly they're finalizing these talks, and there are opera houses shut down, and in-person performances around the world are shut down. And Yuval, being the genius that he is, and he's earned his MacArthur Genius Grant. I mean, this was such an extraordinary experience. Yuval said, that's not going to stop us. You've got this parking garage across the street from your house. It's a 6-story helix building, and we're going to do performances there. So long story short, he decided they were going to do the last of Wagner's Ring operas. And for those of the audience who may not be high on Wagner, Wagner wrote this extraordinary cycle of 4 operas called The Ring of the Nibelung. The total running time across 4 days is about 15 hours, depending on the conductor. Goethe Dämmerung, the opera we tackled, can run anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. Yuval took it, shrunk it down to 1 hour, picked out 4 scenes to highlight, hired a local poet named Marcia Music to come up with a vernacular narration that was just off the charts brilliant. And this poor woman had to distill 14 hours of narrative down to about 20 minutes in Detroit vernacular. It was just incredible. So my part in it was they had these 4 musical scenes that they were going to do with live musicians and live singers. The Ring, when it's performed, usually requires, there's our Rhine Maidens. When it's usually performed, it has an orchestra of 110. We had 18 players total, stretched across 4 different levels. So I was hired to condense these scenes, make some cuts in them, and orchestrate them for a total of 18. There's my upstairs orchestra for 18 instruments total, who will all be playing at the same time, because the audience was cycling through, pardon the pun, cycling through the performance simultaneously. So one group would be in scene 1, the next group, and you'd go on to scene 2, and the next group would come in. So it was sort of like, and this is not a great analogy, it was sort of like a Disney ride. You were cycling through this thing. And
now, were people in their cars, or were they walking?
They were in their cars. This was militantly controlled for safety and security and health. You were in your cars, your windows were down, you were only allowed 4 people total, you had to have been tested, and the audio was piped in through different radio stations. And it was just genius. And we got some great press. And the show is now going to be done in Chicago by Lyric Opera of Chicago at the end of April. And who knows where it will go from there. It was a terrific experience. There's
we've got a film clip of someone talking about.
We've got one of the local newscasts did a quick bit on it, and what's great about it is they came in not as opera fans or connoisseurs, and they were blown away. So,
all right, cool.
During the COVID pandemic, we're seeing so many things we never thought we'd see before. For example, did you ever think that you would see an opera staged in a parking garage? Paula Dutlin took in a performance that shows how a crisis can lead to unexpected creativity and how everyone involved reaps the benefits.
This is my very first ever drive-through opera. Michigan Opera Theater opened its season in a most unconventional way. Unable to safely distance and pack in the usual patrons, it staged the production, Twilight Gods, as a drive-through experience.
And don't go at 5 miles an hour, no burning your tires.
It was an adventure, a first for the city and many patrons.
It's really different. It's like a drive-through opera. Who does that?
Opera is a way of making love in public. It's amazing. It's immersive, it's absolutely all-encompassing, and Wagner is the pinnacle.
She texted me and says, "Do you want me to bring popcorn?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's a wonderful idea."
I noticed you dressed up.
I did. It felt appropriate.
And proof positive that creative minds can't be stopped, not even for a pandemic.
I'm so inspired by all of the artists and all of the technicians and the instrumentalists and the designers who realize that this is an opportunity for us to think differently and to really seize that opportunity to not just apologize for the fact that we can't do opera as usual, but to actually say this is a great opportunity to think about opera in a brand new way.
Every seat was a front row seat to the action. Each act was performed on a different level of the Opera House garage. Much like a drive-in movie, we were instructed on how to tune our radios to get the live audio. Despite the damp chill, the innovation was fun, creative, and often the actors would actually approach your vehicle, bringing the audience into the thrill of it all.
Even on my favorite operas, I always get at least one nap in, but there's too much going on.
As with all operas, there is passion and love, confusion, murder, mayhem, and madness. And even the garage itself became part of the set. It had fun, current, snappy music. It was a spectacle for the eyes. And those who trusted their evening for this grand experiment were not disappointed.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So are you going to Chicago with the company?
Not right now. Our schedules have not lined up. You never know. I want to give a shout out to the cast, who were these are major world-class singers, particularly our Brunhilde, Christine Gerke, who is in demand around the world and is easily one of the top 3 people in her Fach right now. And she came in and just like she was filing her nails, like it was nothing to her. It was just extraordinary. And they all came in, as I think we all did, a little bit not hesitant, but is this really going to work? And by first dress rehearsal, these folks were full in. It was just spectacular. It's one of the highlights of my. There she is.
Oh, I love the cape too.
In Chicago, I urge you to get your tickets because this is going to sell out fast. Detroit sold out in, I think it was 6 hours, and they wound up adding in 2 performances, which sold out in 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good. Advance news up there in Chicago. That'll go great. Well, thank you so much, Ed. It's fascinating. And I will hear more about other projects at another time. But thank you so much. We'll bring you back for the quiz, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you in a bit.
Have some wine and cheese. All right. Wow. Wasn't that cool? That would be fun to see.